Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is January 26th, 2016. Glad to be back here, John.
It's been quite a road that we've taken to get here.
Quite a road that we have taken, and I wasn't able to take a road last week.
Yeah.
My car had some problems, unfortunately.
The executive limo.
Yeah, the executive limo, of course. And
Fire that driver.
week before that, weather. Well,
Weather was iffy, and we made a judgment call.
Right.
Our staff and the crew here are more important to us,
Mhm.
than getting here and
right.
putting ourselves at risk.
It was one of those things where it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
If we came here and we walked outside, there would have been about
Half a foot of snow.
or something like that, or ice.
Yeah.
It was more ice that night.
Right. Yeah. But we weren't sure, and it was the call made
Right.
at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature was actually kind, but it was better safe
Right.
than sorry.
The unfortunate thing about that would have been the first time in Squared Circle history that we would have had footage ready. The episode after
Right.
an independent card that I had gone to.
Right.
But
That's okay.
Pioneer Valley this weekend, and next Tuesday, that will be the first old school night. Will be the first ever time you will see footage shot with an HD camera, nonetheless, at an event the Saturday prior to that Tuesday.
Right. Well, all things.
But later on in this broadcast, we will have that said footage from Blitzkrieg Pro and Chill. We have 20 minutes of footage featuring a three-way match between Sasha Jenkins, Ken Broadway, accompanied by the answer to your prayers, of course, Ariel Nix,
Yes.
and Tomahawk. We will have that. We will have Hammer Tunis alongside his manager, Joseph DiNucci, taking on Silver Ant from Chikara Pro Wrestling. And you will also see the tag team match between Toxis and Katrid taking on Team Sea Stars.
Well, you don't want to watch it on this?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Watch it on the television.
Well, we didn't take it with this, so.
No.
Okay.
Well,
There we go.
we don't do that.
No.
Some other people choose to, but that's,
Right. Some other people being what? WWE? No. ESPN? No.
Mm.
Although Major League Baseball,
Right.
they do have phone-in callers on MLB Network.
Right.
So, we get criticized for our phone-ins, but if it's good enough for MLB Network, I think it's good enough for the Squared Circle.
Channel 8 Storm coverage over the weekend had a lot of call-in guests.
Right,
They were on for several hours,
Right,
and I give them a lot of credit.
Our budget, I don't have money for airfare, but
Right.
To get the
Mm-hmm.
people we get,
Right.
Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, tri-state
Exactly. Exactly. We're dealing with a lot of people in a lot of different states nowadays.
area. Yes.
Yeah, we've improved on that. We've grown in the past several years. Business
without a
grows.
doubt. Without a
Just
doubt.
like any other business when it starts out. You start out small and you build up and you get bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Speaking of growing, our presence this weekend, right, Sunday at the Royal Rumble, front and center, right in full view of the camera, the Squared Circle. Gentlemen wearing one of our shirts, Squared Circle, front and center. Following night, last night on Raw, almost the same spot, a little 2 seats over, 3 seats over to the right. There we are again.
There we are. Exactly.
So our reporter in the field, good job getting on camera, Squared Circle, right out there on WWE television.
Right.
You know?
Dangerous Dan, as everybody can see, is not with us tonight. Going through
he's
some
got
personal issues. Just to let everybody know he'll be back
Our thoughts and prayers
at
go out
some
to him
point.
and his family.
Definitely.
And I hope everyone involved turns out okay.
Exactly. So, that being said, the Royal Rumble was kind of a historic moment. Took place in the Royal Rumble, drawing number 3. We can now put to bed all the rumors. Is that true? Is he really coming in? Nah, he's not coming in. That's not happening. It's just an internet rumor.
Right.
It's not really happening. He's not. He's going to show up on Raw tonight. No, he drew number 3. I'm talking about the phenomenal AJ Styles coming in as the phenomenal AJ Styles. WWE on their website calling Styles a game changer. And they also added, after conquering the independent circuit in Japan, AJ Styles wants to show WWE why he's so phenomenal. Hold on tight, quote, unquote. Number 3 draw lasted a little over 30 minutes. Was impressed by the 30-minute part of it. I don't know if I would have put him in at number 3. I might have waited a little bit longer, put him in at maybe 15, 16.
Yeah,
And let him stay towards the end and possibly almost have it where he could have been in a
yeah, I mean,
possibility of winning.
That's well, I mean, that's a tough situation to put somebody that is new to the company into that spot.
Right.
Where somebody else that that has worked day in and day out for WWE.
Right.
We've gone over this with other entities, other people, and I think he's going to come in, and even though he's the phenomenal AJ Styles and he's got credibility around the world, he's the new guy in WWE. You can't just let him walk in the door and put him up for a title shot. Put him put him in a in a hot card.
Right.
It's tough when you've got guys, like I said, that have been there for a long time that are trying to earn their spot, and somebody walks in and just jumps the line.
Yeah, I'm not really looking at it so much as that, because and I don't mean it as any disrespect to anybody that's been there, because I can honestly see their point if they would be upset about that. But there are some people, fans out there, that have the mentality that if it's not WWE, I'm not watching it.
Right.
TNA is no good. ROH
Right.
is no good. I don't go to indies. I watch the WWE.
Right.
Those kinds of fans out there, which I think, that's another conversation too. I don't think any fan should just, follow one product or another.
But they do exist.
They do exist. They're probably, if all you watch is WWE, you're thinking to yourself, who's this guy AJ Styles?
Right.
Where did he come from?
Right.
So in order to, put an exclamation point on who is AJ Styles, and that this guy means business, is he's not here to play games. You don't have him win the Royal Rumble, of course not, but you have him.
You need to make him look strong, of course.
You need to make him look strong and have him in towards the end, and
Right, and jumping ahead, I think his appearance on Monday Night Raw last night, definitely made him look strong. Jericho put him
that
over.
certainly did.
Put him over very well, and Jericho sold for him, and made him look strong, and let AJ Styles show who he is and what he can do. And you got to give kudos to Chris Jericho, for being a stand-up guy and doing that for him.
Absolutely.
And I think he was the right choice because he's not a regular, a regular player in the
Right.
WWE. So, a loss to Jericho really doesn't mean very much, at this point, because he's just going to go off and do his Fozzy thing and his podcast
Right.
and everything else he's got going on. So, I think somebody with the WWE credentials that Jericho has, and the respect that the audience of WWE has for Chris Jericho, putting over this new entity, this new guy,
Right.
At least new to the WWE audience, I think it was a good move. And he did come out looking great, and he said, "This is where I want to be. This is where I belong." As he was walking down the aisle to get to the ring, so I'm looking forward to see what AJ Styles does and what WWE allows him to do.
Right.
That's the other thing.
Right.
But he did come in with his name, with his, all his merch.
Yeah, they're already
contract.
marketing his merch right now as we speak.
He definitely set himself up with a good contract. He's able to come in with his name. They didn't give him a silly name or change his appearance or his finisher.
I don't think he would have wanted that.
Right. So I think he took care of himself, business-wise, and he's protecting his own persona and reputation.
Right.
So I like the deal, and I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do.
Right. Now, it remains to be seen the other three people in this deal that were all supposed to be coming over. I'm talking about Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, rumored to be finishing up with New Japan.
Right.
But the current IWGP Intercontinental Championship holder, or I should say former, he was stripped of that belt yesterday in a press conference where he finally announced that he would be leaving the company. I believe his last match for New Japan will be this Friday. I'm talking about Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep.
So he didn't specifically say whether or not he's signed on with the WWE, but he noted in his conference that he felt like he was stuck in a rut. You know, he helped elevate New Japan to what it is today, and he felt that, you know, he couldn't really go any further in that company, you know, or maybe that he's already, you know, done everything he could possibly do. He was one of the top stars over there.
Right. You know, and more than likely, as we've seen, you know, in WWE, as we've seen in TNA, that there's only so many matchups and so many, you know, ways you can use, you know, a talent.
Yeah.
And you know, and I've complained about it all the time.
Right.
That, you know, we've seen so many times Cena, Orton, Cena, you know, and those matchups, and you can only, you know, shift the ball so many times, where you know, this guy's been heel, he's been face.
Right.
Big Show, you know, heel, face, and Big Show has faced everybody in the company. There's no surprises left.
No.
So you know, it's probably come to that point with Nakamura that he's done everything. You know, he's faced every opponent he can face in every type of style of match, you know, that you can do, and it's time to
Honestly,
new opponents.
honestly, I haven't seen a New Japan card since the WCW Japan Super Shows
It was
back
a
in
while ago.
'91, '92.
Yeah.
That's dusting them off there. I am not really familiar with Shinsuke Nakamura, but I do understand his reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring a lot to the table, and hopefully, if he can, you know, lawyer up and give himself a good contract the way Styles did,
Yeah.
they'll bring him in, you know, pay him a decent amount of money, and you know,
Right.
use him
And
the right way.
He'll be a fresh performer, and
Right.
you know, and you know what? It's good for the guys that are already in the WWE because, you know, Randy Orton doesn't have to face John Cena again. He's got somebody new to face, you know, and it's just a new dimension.
It's
AJ
going to bring
Styles
freshness to the product.
You know, AJ Styles hasn't wrestled, you know, nearly all of the talent, and you know, maybe, yeah. I mean, R-Truth wasn't even in TNA when Styles was there. So
No.
I'm not sure that there's anybody on the current roster that AJ Styles has faced.
No,
So it's a whole new, you know,
it's all in the world for him.
yeah, it's a whole new roster for him to, you know, pick a feud with and go for. So it'll be interesting, and I like to see that dynamic. And you know, Nakamura is the same thing. He's got a whole new roster of
Right.
talent, you know, and everybody brings something different to the table.
Gallows has been there before.
Yeah. Well,
Jesse
I mean,
and Festus, that's the Festus
right.
character.
Yeah, and then he was part of CM Punk's
Right.
Straight Edge Society. That's
Straight
it.
Edge Society.
Yeah.
TNA might remember him as the director of Chaos from Aces and Eights, of course.
Right.
So he's improved his image over the years,
Right. Yeah.
coming from that Festus character to now. So he'll bring some things to the table. Whether they end up using the Bullet Club name or not,
Rumor has it that they were interested in purchasing the name, but I really don't see them using it with the deal with Mattel.
right?
It just doesn't.
It wouldn't go with that
jive.
Bullet.
Right. Yeah. It just doesn't.
They do
jive.
have Balor Club
Right.
shirts for NXT for
Yeah.
Finn Balor.
Right.
Finn Balor is actually the man that started the Bullet Club
Right.
years back in ROH in New Japan when he was over there.
Yeah. But I really don't think it jives with, you know, the PG
Right.
and Mattel era. But you know, they could use, obviously they could use it, but I don't see it happening. I don't think it's a big deal one way or another.
Right. If you use the name Balor Club, people know who it is anyway. Right.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Some news, injury updates here. the former WWE Divas champion Nikki Bella is set to go under the knife tomorrow for major neck surgery, which could potentially end her wrestling career. Now it's going to depend on how that herniated disc in her neck heals, and that's going to determine whether or not she will be able to continue wrestling. It's going to require about 6 months of her sitting back at home, relaxing, watching the soaps, whatever, before she can get another X-ray, and then with that X-ray, they can determine at what point she'd be able to return to in-ring action. So I say what you want about the Bella twins, but I do wish her a speedy recovery.
Oh, without a doubt. We never want to see anybody injured,
Right.
and anybody's career come to an end because of an injury. You want to go out on your own terms,
Right.
and and make your own decision. But if indeed her career is over, I'm sure that the WWE can find something for Nikki Bella to do other than wrestle.
Right.
I mean, you've got JoJo standing there with a microphone. And they with the network and stuff like that. I mean, she can be a hostess on
There's
number of shows.
plenty for her to do.
Right. And WWE has proven it throughout the history of the company, all going back to the F days, that they do take care of their talent, when they want to. But
When they-
overall,
yeah,
they do, and I mean, how many times have they sent Sunny to rehab and even though she's been out of the company for how long? And you can buy Sunny's Hall of Fame ring on eBay, by the way.
She's selling
Not
the Hall of
anymore.
Fame
Is it
ring.
sold out? Somebody bought it, or nobody bid?
She signed a deal with, she's the new China.
Ah. Okay, so she signed the deal and they took it off of eBay. All right. At one point, her Hall of Fame ring was on eBay, but
See, we have a call coming in, if you don't mind, Mr. Zerner. You are live on the Squared Circle.
Hey guys, it's Aubrey.
woo!
Here she is. It's Aubrey St. John. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
I
guys.
haven't seen you in forever.
I saw her at the Blitzkrieg card, come to
Yes.
think of it, January 9th.
Yep.
How did you enjoy Blitzkrieg that night?
It was really good. They had a lot of tag matches, but it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Lots of tag matches.
Yeah,
Lots and lots.
definitely. Scotty 2 Hottie did really well too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what you been up to lately? We'd love to. Too bad you weren't here gracing our presence, but we have you on the phone anyway. How are things going?
Yeah, you just had a reunion.
Yeah, I had a reunion with the biggest, most handsomest man in all of pro wrestling.
I thought that was me.
Shooter Storm.
Oh, Shooter Storm. Okay. I guess I'm number 2 then. But go ahead.
Shooter Storm, it was great. Well, it was supposed to be our reunion, but it was short-lived because someone by the name of Fox Vineyard interrupted our little reunion. Yeah, bummer, but not everyone's gonna be happy for our reunion. Oops, I'm dropping everything.
And that was up in Albany, correct?
Yeah.
And you're going to be returning there soon?
Yes, I'll be there on. I don't know about the show yet, but I'll be in Albany March 12th for their event, and I'm also going to be at an event next Friday in Springfield, Massachusetts.
And what would that be?
It's a.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, I'm having. It's a Spanish American wrestling.
Hispanic American Wrestling Association, right? HAWA? Or Alliance.
Oh.
Alliance. We are familiar with you. You're
Yes.
going to be involved with them now.
Yes, I'm actually gonna be there. Gonna be involved with them. So you guys have to come and see what my involvement will be.
Oh, you're going to leave a teaser, huh?
Yes, I'm always a good tease.
So that's going to be this Friday evening coming up.
It's the Friday the 5th in Springfield, Mass.
Okay. Oh, Friday the 5th. All right.
Yes. The page, their page is on my Facebook, and I had shared it a couple days ago. And I sent you guys an invite, so I hope you guys hit like on the page, and so you guys get all sorts of information about the event.
We'll definitely read up on it. I was at their card, one of their last shows in Springfield. It's at the SciTech High School, I believe, right?
Yes.
Right.
Your favorite tag team is going to be there, the Sea Stars.
The Delmy XO is actually their
Tech High School.
is the HAWA Women's Champion as of the previous one of the previous cards.
That's pretty awesome.
Right, exactly. Right, Sea Stars are there. Tequila Rose is also involved. Doug Summers. So there's a lot of familiar faces involved with the HAWA.
There's a lot of familiar faces as well as a lot of faces that I've never seen before, or that have been doing their thing for a while, but I just never seen in other promotions. And I like what they got going on though. It's a very different idea from everyone else, so it's pretty cool.
Well, every company runs differently. It seems like,
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? I won't say this towards that.
I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. Everybody has their own style of running things.
I don't mean it that way either, but I just don't want to I don't want to make anyone upset because everyone's sensitive now. Everyone's sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't.
But we will definitely put that link on our page.
Yes, and definitely I'll be back on March 12th in Albany, New York.
Will Shooter Storm be back at that event?
You guys will have to see.
Oh.
We're just going to have to
You're
see.
just big tease tonight.
March 12th, is that a Friday or Saturday?
Huh?
Is that a Friday or a Saturday, March 12th?
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Yes, and then there's the show, April 23rd, Shooter Storm, dedicated to his mom, who just recently passed away. And that's April 23rd in Messina, New York. And Tommy Dreamer will be tagging up with him against the Barbarians.
Wow, that's awesome.
So on the 12th, what's the name of that company?
That's In Your Face Wrestling.
In Your Face Wrestling.
In your face.
Yes.
In Your Face.
In your face.
Yeah.
Go ahead and post that up to the group page so everybody knows more about it and becomes a little more familiarized with that product.
Yes. Yes. I made my debut for their Fed. What was it, last week? And so you guys have to stick around and see what happens.
Definitely.
We're gonna show the footage of Blitzkrieg a little bit later on. This is our first time being on the air in a couple weeks, but we have you interviewing Dijak from Ring of Honor.
Yeah. He was a good guy to interview. Good interview.
Yeah, the one regret I have about that is I didn't film the match between Dijak and Wrecking Ball Legursky, so I can't.
What?
I didn't realize. I figured he was in Ring of Honor and he was under a contract, and I just didn't think you could film him without Ring of Honor's permission. So I didn't think we would be able to interview him. I mean, hats off to Dan for actually asking him for the interview.
Yeah. That definitely helped set up the interview. So big ups to Dan for that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't show
You
up.
get a little shy, Jason. So I'm glad Dan said that.
What's that again?
You're a little
I
shy.
said you get a little shy. So
Oh, I had to interview Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. But you know what? We just don't show up with a cell phone and stick it in people's faces. We get clearance and we're very respectful. To the company's wishes, and we don't know who's got what as far as contracts and TV deals and
Right.
what have you. I mean, when we met Rikishi, he was wonderful to us and nice, but he's got a Legends contract.
he's a great guy.
Yeah, and he's got a Legends contract, and we weren't able to film him.
Right.
And the same day, we met Devon, and Devon was like, yeah, we'll go for it, and you hooked us up with that. So, at the big event, which you were at with us, there were some people that we could interview on camera, and there were definitely some people that we could not.
Right.
Exactly.
So, it's all a matter of respect and doing the right thing. And, and that's what we're about.
I mean, because I've been in front of the camera, basically, and back of it, like I've been interviewed, so I've also been interviewed before. For me, I'm not saying for anyone else. I'm saying for me, I always like when people approach me first and ask first, than just come up to me with a camera, because that can really rub me the wrong way, especially if I'm not having a good day or the match didn't go well. You know, it's like if
Oh, yeah.
my guy lost, but whatever.
That's just the paparazzi mentality or
Yeah.
crash TV mentality. It's
Yeah.
just, you know.
Yeah, I'm not big on the paparazzi mentality.
Right.
I like
No.
my privacy, and I like to be asked to enter my territory.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
Because people that are in the spotlight, celebrities, you know, wrestlers, they're people too, just like everybody else.
You know what? Speaking of that, after the show, In Your Face Wrestling show in Albany, New York, I went to eat. I won't say what restaurant because I don't want no stalkers or paparazzi. But I went out to eat with a couple people, and this little boy. I noticed this little boy with his sister and his father, you know, I was eating with my friends and stuff, but I noticed them. They were looking at my table, and on their way out, his father asked if he could get a hug and an autograph because they were at the show.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
I like that approach, you know, because they were leaving. So I understand it, and it wasn't like they just brushed over to my table and like just bombarded me. But I just thought it was pretty awesome that, you know, he waited until he was done and he was leaving, and then, you know, he asked for a hug and an autograph. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's
You know,
awesome.
when you see somebody eating or somewhere or whatever, don't bombard them, you know?
Right.
Like, just be patient, you know?
I mean, that stands, you know, for anybody really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody wants to be bombarded, definitely.
Exactly. So, well, we're looking forward to all of your posts and your upcoming events, and you know, always we're glad to have you with us, and you know, being a part of our show. And you know, I don't think I've seen you since the big event. It's been a while. We just haven't crossed paths.
No, I saw her at Blitzkrieg, yeah.
I've been training in New York, and I've been, you know, preparing for stuff, and I was preparing for the reunion, and now, you know, I'm preparing for next week, which I hope to see you guys. That's next Friday, it's February 5th in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I hope to see everyone there. And then after that, I got to prepare for March. So, you know, I'm planning to pick up and get a little busy, a little work here and there.
Yep.
But I definitely want to, like, make a Tuesday and come down to the Square Circle if you guys will allow it.
Always, you're always welcome, anytime at all. If you want to kick me out of my seat, you're more than welcome too.
But she's here when you're not.
Right.
That's
right.
what the whole thing is.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I always end up going when you're not there.
Right.
Mhm.
I think anytime that you hear that I'm going to be on the show, you just like,
No, I think anytime that I'm not going to be here, they're like, "Oh, we can't do this alone. We need somebody else."
Right.
But we definitely appreciate it, and you know, we love to have you.
Absolutely.
So
yes. And I will share the link for the show on the Square Circle group. And I hope to see everyone there, familiar faces in Springfield, and perhaps Albany.
thank you very
Definitely.
much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you
You guys
soon.
have a good night.
Good night.
Yep. Good night. The incomparable Aubrey St. John.
Yeah, she's opened up quite a few doors for us, and she's always just a wonderful person to be around.
Right. Definitely. We just wanted to have her give us an update on the Shooter Storm reunion.
Yeah.
So I guess it went well. Well, whenever we have the footage ready from the Blitzkrieg show January 9th at Whirly Ball, it's all queued up and all fired up and ready to go. We'll show that, and we'll come back with some reaction to that and a little info on PVP's Old School Night this Saturday evening at the Polish American Club in South Hadley. Let's roll.
Fabulous beans. The way Jim addressed. that was the previous card.
That was-
I think you just wanted to see the Sea Stars again.
No.
I think you're a little too obsessed with the Sea Stars.
that was a previous.
Oh. Well, we try to work on that
Yeah.
backstage.
Backstage.
Moving forward.
Moving forward, I guess we'll talk about the old school night. We really don't have much else to talk about then.
Oh, we got plenty.
You want to just cue that up then? Pioneer Valley's old school night will be this Saturday evening at the Polish American Club in South Hadley.
Okay.
And we have we got some scheduled matches there. There we go. We have the Aristocrats taking on the East Coast Bastard Crew, that being Logan Black and Rude Boy Riley. And we have a grudge match from, we saw the footage on this program where Johnny Idol had a beer bottle smashed over his head.
Yes, I remember that.
Definitely. Via Royalty William King, and this coming Saturday evening, Johnny Idol gets to have his revenge.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
We got an amateur wrestling match here between AJ Cruz and Hammer Tunis. All looking forward to that for sure.
Yep.
And we have also for the PvP title, Slick Wagner Brown taking on Brad Hollister.
Your favorite.
My favorite right there.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely be interesting.
Without a doubt, Pioneer Valley always puts on a really good card, and it's a great night out for the family, and reasonable and always great talent. So we're very happy that they allow us to come down and check them out and cover their shows.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I'm working, so
You're working all the time, so others
So
don't
others
have to.
have to.
Others don't
Yay.
have to.
Did I hold up a cue card?
Mm-hmm.
That'll have to be the back of the shirt next time.
Got to be the back of the shirt.
On the third best that I order, or fourth best. I don't know how many I've sold so far. We're going wild. These are flying out the door, man. I need a new one. So a fan bumped into me and I spilled my coffee earlier. So I'm gonna have to order myself a new one.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. They're always great to us up there. I actually have. I have every single card for the next year for Pioneer Valley. I know all the dates.
Yes.
Not off the top of my head, of course. It's back home in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
But always interesting. Always a great time.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it again. And, maybe next week we get somebody from the Pioneer Valley gang to call up.
Yeah.
I know the man that's, he worked on the tag belts for Pioneer Valley.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Nice.
He's going to be producing the belt that's going to end up being the women's title for Pioneer Valley. And I know we've been in negotiations for him to be a call-in guest.
Oh, great.
So hopefully pretty soon, maybe when I see him over the weekend, I'll see if he can do it for next Tuesday. I know he's been traveling a lot.
Yes.
So he's been a big fan of Pioneer Valley from their onset and even, prior to the name change.
Right.
He's been going up to see them for years, so he's got a lot of stories to tell.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm sure it'll be very, very interesting and exciting for sure. So that being said, I don't know what the deal is here with the Blitzkrieg footage, if we are going to even have it or not.
Well, I spent this Friday at the Friday Night Fights at PWA, and Azrael, our current PWA Squared Circle television champion, was in attendance. He was in a non-title match. He was in a three-way with Hillbilly Greg and the current PWA heavyweight champion, Hippie Dickie Moon. Again, not a non-title match, a three-way dance, and Hillbilly Greg was victorious over the two champions. And Hillbilly Greg spoke to me afterwards, and he was very upset that he didn't, the titles weren't on the line. He would have ended up with both titles. But hopefully next time In a couple weeks, I know Azrael's coming back. Being that he lost on this past Friday, he's not eligible for this upcoming Friday, according to the rules of Friday Night Fights.
No.
Only the winners can fight in the following week. So Azrael's got a couple weeks off, and he'll be back, and hopefully we'll have a title match for the PWA Squared Circle television title. But Azrael, if you see his posts and if you're friends with him on Facebook, he's a very busy guy, particularly in the New York area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we haven't seen him in Connecticut. You know, it's difficult for him to get down and see us here. But you know, he promised he'll be back, and we will have a title defense, and hopefully he'll be victorious again, and we'll get him interview for the show and all that happy stuff.
Looking forward to seeing him on the show,
Yeah.
or at least have him as a call-in.
Right. Yeah, he's a very, very busy man, and
He's a very, very busy
he
man.
sends us apologies, and
Right.
He's very proud to hold our title, and you know, hopefully, in a couple weeks when he's back at PWA, we'll have footage of him.
Hopefully, definitely. It's a good value that
Well, yeah, and you know, coming up next
Friday
week,
Night Fights.
Next week on Friday Night Fights, they're going 6 matches for that low value price, and just incredible. You know, the talent is just amazing, and you're getting, you know, on a weekly basis, you're getting 5 matches for, you know, less than the cost of a Happy Meal, for goodness sake. And you know, this past Friday night, the infamous Injustice League, represented by Joseph Von Schmidt and Troy Stevens, defeated the Fellowship. And then they had the triple threat, which I talked about, 9-title. Hillbilly Greg defeated Hippie Dicky Moon and Azrael. Wrecking Ball Legursky, he retained the Ox Baker Old School title, defeating Blade Bandit. E.A. James defeated Pedro Wandones. Right, this was I think the pivotal point in the night, because Pedro Wandones, formerly now a member of the infamous Injustice League,
Was basically kicked out.
was basically kicked out. He was beat down by Joseph Von Schmidt and Troy Stevens after losing to E.A. James, and the members of the good guys, the faces, came in and welcomed and helped Pedro Wandones out of the ring. So it remains to be seen, but it looks like Pedro may be switching factions. You know, no longer in the infamous Injustice League. And I've never seen Pedro Wandones over the past, you know, 5, 6, 7 years. I've never seen him outside of being a heel.
No.
And, you know, and I've told him, you know, in person, and I've said it many a time, you know, when he's on the microphone, he's the greatest heel in the business. My opinion, you know, my favorite, and I think he's a really great character, and I'm really looking forward to see how he is on the other side. You know, if he can pull off that persona, because he definitely is great at riling up the crowd, getting the crowd to boo and you know, be against him, and be that, you know, that bad guy character. And to see Pedro Wandones come out and, you know, possibly, you know, presumably be a face now, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I really like him as a performer, as a character, and I'm looking forward to what he's going to do. But we have new PWA Tag Team Champions in the Super Savages, Mantequilla and Caveman, defeating NPC, Xander Litton and Nathaniel Carr, in quite a match. Caveman, as a character, if you watch him, you know, if you've seen the Friday Night Fights, which you did.
I did. I was there. First time.
Primarily, they have on one side of the ring, they have the heels for the entire card. All of the contestants stand, you know, on the side of the ring, and they have the heels on one side and the faces on another. And Caveman, during all the matches, is just in character. You know, he is Caveman. You never see him out of character. He never loses, you know, the persona, and it's great. Just watching him while everything else is going on in the ring is a lot of fun, and he's just a really, really dedicated performer to his art, and Caveman is just really great. And now he holds the international title for PWA,
Right.
and he's half of the tag team champions. for PWA, and it says a lot about him as a character, as a performer, and as his in-ring presence. And I really, we met him over the summer
Right.
at PWA, and he's been around in the New York scene, and you see, if you follow him on Facebook and what have you, he's very busy, and I really enjoy watching his antics. And for somebody to be that dedicated, for the entire night, hour and a half, span, it's hard to do, and it's a lot of fun not to lose sight of being in character while other contestants are in the ring. So you see him, reacting to what's going on in the ring, and it's just a lot of fun. So the Friday night fights at PWA, Joseph Bunschmidt and Kara, and thanks for having us down, and it's just fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and I can't think of a better way to spend a Friday night.
Absolutely.
So, and then we have news 2 years today. 2 years ago today, CM Punk. said
CM Punk
goodbye.
said goodbye. He
Yeah.
walked away from the business 2 years ago today.
And and he hasn't even teased a comeback. He's rumored to be at UFC 200, maybe.
He's been training for the UFC for the past, pretty much ever since, for the past year and a half.
Right.
And he still has yet to make his UFC debut.
It's a very difficult business to be in. The UFC is, these guys, the WWE and wrestlers are athletes.
Right.
And it is, athletic, and it is an art form. But UFC is a whole other ball of wax. And, as great a performer as CM Punk was in the wrestling business, it's like starting all over again. And I can see why it would take, 2 years, a year and a half to train to be a UFC fighter. Look at Dave Bautista tried it and failed. Brock Lesnar did pretty well with it. Bobby Lashley did okay with it. Ken Shamrock was able to do both. But, there aren't many people that have bridged both the UFC or, that style of fighting, reality fighting, and, the performance art of the wrestling. So it remains to be seen what he's going to do, and if they put him in against jabronis,
Right.
or if they put him in against, legitimate competitors.
That's going to all depend.
And, the name alone is going to get pay-per-view buys, but is he going to have one fight and done, or is he going to actually have a career? So I think taking a cautious approach and taking your time, getting him prepared, I think rather than, they could have rushed him in.
Yeah, exactly.
In a couple of months. And
If they rushed him in, they would have buried him right off the bat.
Right. And, nobody's going to believe, if he comes in and just beats up, you or, a guy just starting out. And I don't think Dana White wants to, tarnish, what he's built in the UFC just to make a name for CM Punk. Just to make dollars on one bout. I think, the UFC and Dana White have a long, a long vision for a guy like CM Punk or any of the fighters. They don't want to throw him in there, and want to risk his health, risk him getting hurt, and make a carnival spectacle out of it. So I really respect what they're doing, and hopefully, CM Punk will make his debut. They were talking either 199 or 200. UFC number 199 or 200. So hopefully, he'll come out and he'll be a legitimate force in that business. So, but 2 years ago today,
2
CM
years
Punk
ago today.
out of the WWE, and other former WWE wrestlers over at Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground was recently on SportsCenter in Los Angeles, and season 2 of Lucha Underground is starting tomorrow.
It's starting tomorrow.
On the El Rey Network, and they have upcoming Chavo Guerrero Jr., the former John Morrison, the former Justin Gabriel, and Rey Mysterio. So the El Rey Network can be the El Rey Mysterio Network.
Right?
At least tomorrow night on
On El Rey.
right, for Lucha Underground. So I mean, it's good to see there's another outlet for professional wrestling, and Lucha Underground is slowly becoming a force to be reckoned with.
I'm glad to see products like that out there. That people don't normally see
Yeah.
come to light.
Yeah.
Like Lucha Underground, New Japan. I think is having an American product they're putting out, or I think they may already have it out.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross, actually, from what I understand, is rumored to be going over to New Japan
Wow.
to do color commentary.
Well, that would make a lot of sense. He's obviously one of the greatest in the business, if not the greatest
Right.
in the business. And for him to put over in English, what I'm sure, is in Japanese, where
Right.
they are, just like WWE has their Spanish commentators, well, New Japan will have a brilliant English commentator in the form of Jim Ross. And if anybody can put over the talent
Right.
and explain who these people are and what is going on in that ring, it is Jim Ross.
It's good to have Jim Ross there if they want an American version of their product.
Correct. Yeah, and you're getting the top guy in the business. You have a call?
We have a call. Let's go to it. Live on the Squared Circle.
Yes, gentlemen, it's Bill. How you doing?
Oh, we're
Bill.
wonderful. How's yourself?
How are things, Bill?
Things are going well. Things are going well. So I haven't seen the show because I'm not in a position to watch it, but I'm sure you guys have mentioned Raw at least once.
Yeah.
We mentioned Raw. What's your take? Did you happen to see AJ Styles debut in the Rumble match?
I did not because due to your crack reporting on the Square Circle on Facebook, I felt like I was actually there. I did see it last night, his debut on WWE as it's called Raw, but I'm calling it Snore from now on. Because I tell you what, I'm basically probably close to 2 years ago made this statement that I'd rather spend my money going to see PWA on Friday Night Fights, which was really great this week.
Yeah, I saw you there.
First time me being there. I'd rather spend my money on Blitzkrieg Pro, Shakara, Pioneer Valley. You pick them, you name them. I'd rather spend my money and my time watching those shows.
I know you're a frequent flyer of Northeast Wrestling as well.
Yes, I am. They put together a great show. And I'll tell you, any of these shows that we go to, and we've all been to them, I'd rather sit there for an hour or two on the floor with no heat or air conditioning and watch Raw on Monday night.
Although, while you were watching Raw last night, did you happen to notice Ryan Camera View was the Squared Circle Television T-shirt?
I did see something, and I was like, sometimes, you know what, you're not quite sure if you're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing, and I think it's because I was delirious because of the show. And in all seriousness, the only good thing was AJ Styles, and I really hope they don't screw that up, but, they are who they are, and like I said, I will watch just out of pure curiosity, but majority of my time it's going to be spent paying homage to some of the great independent shows that we
Absolutely
get to go to. We get to meet these guys. I mean, on Friday night, you got to talk to Wrecking Ball. You got to talk to Troy Stevens. A lot of great people. You get to go to these independent shows. Blitzkrieg Pro, which was my first show probably about 3-4 weeks ago, just totally blew me away.
You got to meet my friends, the Sea Stars.
The Sea Stars, yes, the infamous Sea Stars. Very nice women. Very, very good in the ring. And you know what? In some respects, I'd rather see them in the ring than I'd rather see, Ric Flair's daughter or some of these other divas, because there's nothing really spectacular there. It's all cookie cutter, blah blah blah. But I just thought I'd get my 2 cents in. The only thing that might save them if they do something in reference to the Bullet Club. But there's a short window of opportunity for them to introduce the Bullet Club, and if they don't do it, I don't think there's going to be much more of the show there. I mean, they're going to continue to push, and they're going to continue to make money, but for people who are, and I use air quotations, true wrestling, pro wrestling people, I think those are the people that they're going to lose, you know?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Yep,
But
we're with you on that.
but I wanted to call, and I know I'm short on time because you guys are going to be going off air sometimes. But that would be my if I got to do anything blowing off steam, that's what it would be.
There we go.
There we go.
That leads us right into the ending segment. Thank you very much, Bill, and have a safe trip home.
All right, guys, take care.
All right,
Take
good night
care,
now.
Bill.
Yeah, we did see him Friday night at the Friday
We
night
did.
fights.
I've seen him the Friday night fights and at Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, and he's just a great guy.
And I'm gonna have to get a corrective already because I don't know what happened to that footage now.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It is on the Facebook page.
Yep.
I did post it a couple weeks back, anticipating to be on the air, of course. So I do get home, I will repost that footage.
Yeah. But
So-
real quick, The Rock on Raw last night brought in a record number of viewers. It drew attention from Fox Sports News, CBS Sports News.
Draws attention to every place.
Yeah, The Rock coming in, so it brought viewers up to 4.098 million, up from last week's 3.496 million. So about 500,000 more people tuned in because The Rock was there. Presumably because The Rock was there, but definitely, and AJ Styles.
Right.
Brought in some viewers as well, and it drove the stock up today up to $18, which it hasn't seen in a little bit. So a little coin in my pocket.
Right. I got a little TNA info before we wrap it up here.
Yep.
So try to stay awake. It's a kind of a positive note. Their debut on Pop TV a couple weeks back. This is their third week on Pop TV. They have shown improvements in being on Pop TV. I think they have more of an audience. Pop TV ends up going into more homes
Yep.
than the Destination America did. The January 18th episode, TNA Impact, drew a combined audience of 443,000, up from 365,000 the previous week. The combined audience was up about 100K from week one on Pop TV. And Impact drew 321,000 first-run viewers at 9 Eastern Standard Time and 122,000 for the replay viewers at midnight. So numbers are getting there.
And they just announced today, Dixie Carter announced today that they re-signed Jeff Hardy.
They
So
re-signed
the
Jeff
rumors of
Hardy.
Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy being, back in WWE. Well, Jeff Hardy just signed a contract with TNA, so you're not going to see Jeff Hardy, having a battle with the Dudley Boys anytime soon.
No.
So
Feast or Fire is tonight.
it's
Feast or Fired is tonight. That is part of tonight's Impact for anybody that's going to be tuning into Pop TV in the next few minutes and turning us off as we will be signing off, of course. This is beginning of Kurt Angle's farewell tour. The reign of the new TNA champion, Matt Hardy, a heel version of Matt Hardy, I understand. There was a double turn last week between him and EC3.
Yep.
And Tyrus is now with Matt Hardy, along with Reby Sky, of course, his girlfriend, fiance.
Yep.
DJZ versus Tigre Uno versus Mandrews. That is for the X Division title. And Feast or Fired, as we just said, in Velvet Sky goes one-on-one with Awesome Kong.
I got to take Awesome Kong in that.
Right.
Awesome Kong should just smack Velvet Sky around the ring like she's a rag doll.
Never know, but Velvet Sky is pretty tenacious, too. She doesn't go down without a fight.
I won't go there.
Hey,
But
now.
Yes.
You interviewed Velvet Sky
Oh
before.
yeah. She's a sweetheart. Yeah,
She is.
really
She's cool.
But no offense, but size alone, Awesome Kong should just dominate that match. It's like me going up against Big Show. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So
You would have to get Big Show off of his feet somehow.
yeah. But I'm looking forward to TNA. Hopefully they'll steer the ship in the right direction and get creative, because they have talent. The talent is there. We keep saying it week after week. The talent is there. It's just creative needs to find the right path. And hopefully a little clever marketing and advertising, and we'll get some viewers their way.
Exactly. And before we go to Ring of Honor, next pay-per-view, February 26th from Las Vegas as they celebrate their 14th anniversary. Main event has been signed. Jay Lethal defends the ROH title versus Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole in a three-way match. Also expected to appear television champion Roderick Strong, the War Machine, the tag champions, Young Bucks, Briscoes, Unbreakable Michael Elgin, Dalton Castle, New Japan representing there with Okada, Jiro, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the junior heavyweight champion Kushida, Tomohiro Ishii, and many, many more.
Very good.
Got any blowing off steam? We're under 4 minutes now.
No, I'm pretty happy.
You're pretty happy.
Yeah, everything's good. You know, Squared Circle on WWE programming. Love it, love it, love it.
Love it,
Wanna
love
see
it.
it more.
Want to see it more.
Thank you very much, Stephanie and Vince.
My blowing off steam, I want the spring to get here. The warmer weather, please.
And we haven't had it so bad, so you know we can't complain too much.
You know, that storm was bad, but it wasn't William Regal in a hard hat and flannel shirt bad.
There you go.
So at least that.
There you go.
It wasn't Jimmy Wang Yang, the Chinese redneck, bad.
Wow.
Remember him?
Wow. Yeah. He's a blast from the past.
Blast from the past. Kung Fu Naki.
Yeah.
Had some doozy gimmicks there.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see one, I'll post it.
Yeah.
Just for laughs.
Yeah.
That's all. Things that didn't work out.
What's the name of the new show on the network when they're on the road?
Road trip?
Ride along.
Right along.
Yeah. First episode. Could be better, but I'll be an optimist.
It's all fixed.
Oh, it's fun though.
But it's fun.
You know, it's just another dimension.
But they really do have good conversation while they're on the road together. And
Yeah, and
getting into some
it just seems
shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans. It shows you another dimension of the characters outside the ring.
That's all.
You know.
Reality TV.
Yeah.
It's the reality era.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm still a fan of the Miz. I just, I think he knows who he is, and he knows he's a lucky SOB for getting as far as he got, and he put the work in, and he's just entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the ring, outside the ring, no matter what he does.
Yep,
I'm a
definitely.
huge fan, and seeing him on the road with Ziggler was a lot of fun. So.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yep.
But I'm Hollywood J. Williams.
The Mr. Williams.
The original Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams. That's correct.
Good night. Good luck. See you next Tuesday. See you this Saturday evening for PvP.
Ruckus.